What's up everybody, the Code Holic is here and welcome to my channel. This is the third part of series Building Laravel 10 blog website, and in this video we're going to build comment section. So we're going to implement the entire comment section, such as reading comments, editing, deleting, writing child comments, replying comments, and even have like a deep nested level of replying comments. We're going to also implement global search on the website, on the blog website, to search for articles by title and a description. And finally, in this video, we're going to deploy the project on custom domain on production environment with SSL certificate as well. As a choice of hosting provider for this tutorial, I'm going to use Hostinger, which is also kindly sponsoring this video. I have been using Hostinger services for about 2 years, and I can honestly say that it's one of the best shared hosting providers out there. They support different type of hosting such as shared hosting, cloud hosting, VPS hosting, but in my opinion, their shared hosting services are just the best. Okay, let's have a look at the website. In just $3 price, they include the following things. So they have 100 websites. They have free domain, which by itself costs at least $10. You have unlimited free SSL certificates. You have a possibility for free email, and not only one email, multiple emails. You have like unlimited databases, and there are many other things in this like a $3 shared hosting plan. So if we just click, let's click, this is actually $4, which is business web hosting, which is the most popular one. But if we just click add to cart right here and use the coupon code, the Code Holic, you're gonna get additional 10% discount on all that. So you can choose period like 1 month, 12 months, 24 or 48 months. The more time period you choose, obviously saving will be much more. And as you can see, like this is a 4-year hosting provider. Like the most common one probably is 1 year, because the domain also renews in 1 year. So if we just click on 12 months, we're gonna see that we just pay $48, which includes domain as well as 1 year hosting. And again, if you use coupon code, the Code Holic right here, you're gonna get additional 10% discount. If you decide to deploy this project or any other project on shared hosting, I really recommend Hostinger. Whenever you sign up, you will be redirected to Hostinger Modern Age panel, and then the deployment part will be continued from there, which will be the last part of this particular section. And thank you, Hostinger, for sponsoring this video. All right, now let's focus on the video and start building comment section. Okay, let's bring up the terminal, and I'm going to generate comments, comment model. PHP artisan make model comment. Let's specify migration as well. Now let's open migration, create comments table. Okay, what do we need here? Obviously we need a string, which will be comment. We can make this comment very large, so we can specify it can be text or even maybe long text. Let's do long text. And the name will be actual comment. Okay, we obviously need post ID, so let's specify foreign ID, post ID. That cannot be null, so we should not specify nullable, but it should be constrained on posts. I'm going to duplicate this and specify user ID that cannot be also null. It must be provided, and then we have constraint. So we have time when the comment was actually made. The comment can be deleted or updated. Whenever comment is deleted, like we can implement soft deletes, and we can make it to be actually saved in the database, which is kind of good thing. And we should probably even be doing this for posts and articles, which I'm not going to do this at this stage. But again, a great challenge to add soft deletes to your posts and comments and categories as well, so that whenever comment is deleted and someone is blaming someone else, you can check in the database that the actual comment was presented there. Okay, so we have post ID, a user ID. What else we might need on comment? Like, I think this is enough for the beginning. We can of course add additional columns if that becomes necessary, but at the moment we will know who made a comment, on which post he made a comment, at what time and what's the actual comment text. That basically describes the whole comment thing. Okay, now let's open comment model and add fillable. We need to define those 3 columns. That's perfect. Okay, now we can start working on the design side. Let's actually run this migration. PHP artisan migrate. Oops, something is wrong. PHP artisan migrate. Let's have a look. What's the problem? Post views. Create post views table. Okay, I think I have just messed up something in my migration. Create post views. So the post views table actually exists in my case, but this is not marked in migrations. Again, I messed up between recording sections, which is okay. So this is the post views, which I'm gonna put this right here. Okay, that's not going to be the case on your machine. Okay, now create comments table was successfully applied. Perfect. Let's close migrations. Comments table was created. Now I'm going to do comments using Livewire. So let's define components for Livewire. We need comment section at the very bottom, somewhere right here after next and below next. So let's create Livewire components. PHP artisan make Livewire, and we need to call the component. Let's call this comments. Okay, let's hit the enter. Okay, comments component was created. Here we see the comments blade as well. I want to also maybe define comment item. So let's execute that comment item. Here we go. Let's hit the enter. Okay, that was also created. Now, what I have in my mind is that right here I'm going to have comments section, inside which I'm going to iterate and render comment items. And then we're going to have, of course, like reply or leave a comment section and things like that. So I think we need to create comment create component as well. And let's start with simple steps. I'm going to open comment create. Okay, this uses the following component. Let's actually have a look in this component. I'm going to just write texts comment create. I'm going to also open comments blade. Okay, so here we are going to iterate, and I'm going to open comment item as well. So in the comments blade, we are going to iterate and render comment items, and then we're going to have comment create. So let's actually use Livewire comment/create. Okay, and this comments component needs to be used in the view, post view. So let's collapse everything, and I think this is the previous and next buttons, and below that we can use Livewire comments, and that's it. And the comments obviously will need post component, so we can provide that here as well. Okay, so we save this, reload the page, and we see right here iterate and render comment items, and then we have comment create. This is in the center, which I don't expected it to be in the center, and maybe this is in the center because we have right here flex column and item center. If we just remove this item center, I think we will not have, and everything else will stay the same, which is perfect. Now let's start working on the comment create. So here we obviously need input. Then we need, whenever we click inside the input, we need to be able to write some sort of comment. So let's start with the input, and we're gonna, of course, add additional HTML. We will need one button, which will be to submit, maybe, and another button, which will be to cancel. Okay, let's do like this. So this, let's provide some classes, like we need, let me actually grab those classes from Talon CSS, not to type them every time. So this is a button. Yeah, I want a normal button. Okay, I don't want to like spend too much time on typing Talon CSS classes. So let me actually try to do this. If I do it in a short time, that's fine. So AX3, I want, let's give it a BG blue 400, and on hover we need BG blue maybe 600, or let's specify 500 here. Let's give these rounded as well, and text white. All right, let's give this one leave a comment. Okay, perfect. Let's have a look. So we see leave a comment, we see submit and cancel. All right, so this leave a comment section needs to be in its own div element, so that it needs to be on the whole line. We need to install input components. Actually, there is this Tailwind components, free components package, Tailwind UI. Okay, and if we go in the browse components and choose any of those components, especially I'm interested in the forms because we need an input, like contact section, for example. So this is it. And I'm going to go in the code. I see that I need to install Talon CSS forms. And I think I don't have that installed. So I'm going to bring up the terminal and execute npm install Talon CSS forms. And I'm going to also open double shift Tailwind config.js, and in plugins, yeah, I already had Talon CSS forms, which is good. And I'm going to grab the classes for that specific form, like the first name, for example. Let me actually grab this form. And I'm going to put this right here. Let's format the code. We have a huge CSS, and let me try to wrap. I want soft wraps to enable soft wraps. Appearance. I generally don't enable this, but for tutorials that's something necessary. Use soft wrap. I want this to be enabled on probably every file. Soft wraps. Yeah, that's it. Okay, now we see all the classes every time. So that's fine. So I save this and have a look. So we have this input. We can provide right here placeholder, leave a comment. And to have all this consistency, I'm going to grab button, let's talk button styles from here as well. Let's talk. So let's get this button and put this right here. Okay, and instead of let's talk, we'll give it a name, submit. I'm going to duplicate now this, and instead of type submit, I'm going to just remove that, or maybe it should be a type button because by default it's already submit. Let's give it class cancel, And we obviously need different styles right here. So I'm going to remove probably like everything. Let's remove everything and have a look how this will look like. I'm going to also wrap everything in its own form, because finally that is something that needs to be submitted. All right. Okay, that's great. However, the submit needs to be on a full width. So W full block is something I'm going to remove. We have submit and cancel, which is perfect. However, even submit and cancel is not necessary to be displayed until you click inside, leave a comment, right? So we can add an event for that using Alpine.js to show submit and cancel buttons whenever user clicks inside leave a comment. So this submit and cancel we can put in its own div, and then we give it a class. Well, let's give it class hide. I think let's see it or hidden. Okay, they are hidden. Perfect. And when I click inside, then these should be visible. So I'm going to use Alpine.js to run xinit. And here we have this object. If I remember correctly, I have actually a like 4 hours course, full course about Alpine.js, but I don't actually use it very often. That's why I might not remember everything. But in xinit, we can specify what's going to be the state for this div element, like focused, for example. Focused equals false, and then we can add this class based on the condition, like class equals if focused, then we provide here nothing. If not focused, then we provide it here hidden. Okay, let's check this. So we save this. If it's not focused, focus false. If it's focused, yeah, this should not be visible. I think instead of xinit, that should be xdata. Focused false, let's leave it like this. And at the moment, yeah, we don't see the buttons. If I set this focused true, then we see those buttons. Perfect. So we set this into focused false. Well, that is the container for the input field. I'm going to give it margin button 2. Perfect. And whenever we click inside, so let's use click. I'm going to set focused focused equals true. However, we need to handle blur case as well. So we clicked, buttons appear, but then when you, yeah, that's actually fine. So we're about to start writing a comment, but whenever we click cancel, that should be changed. So on cancel, click, we said focused equals false. Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. This leave a comment can even be changed into text area. Let's see. Let's remove this ID and name and type text and maybe autocomplete as well. So everything except classes. We have placeholder. Scroll down below. Hold on. I did something wrong. Text area. Here we go. So here we have this leave a comment, and I'm going to specify here colon rows equals 1 row. If this is focused, then we provide maybe like 6 rows. Otherwise, we provide just 1. Okay, when I click inside, then this increases. That's perfect. Okay, 6 is maybe too much. Provide 4. Now let's actually try to save comment in the database. We type something, lorem ipsum, and when I hit submit, we're going to actually submit the form. On the form, I'm going to add method to be post, and I'm going to also add action to be, well, do we need this action? We might not need. I'm going to use wire click, and whenever this happens, let's call the method create comment. Okay. In the actual comment create component class, comment create, I'm going to define public string comment as a text. So, and I'm going to use that comment as a two-way data binding on this text area. So I'm going to use wire modal to be comment. And we can also try to output what is the comment here. And whenever, we can even remove this method post, I believe, or we can leave this. Let's see what's the actual comment here. So let's click on this, unable to call component method, create comment not found, that's fine. Let's open comment create and create that function, create comment. At the moment, I'm just gonna dump into die, just maybe 1, okay? I don't want to do anything at the moment. Let's just have a look. Reload the page, here we have that, I click inside, and it actually calls this comment create. Why does it call that? Well, not to overcomplicate things, I'm going to give it a click, wire click equals create comment. Let's remove this type submit even, or maybe change it into type button, or I'm going to completely even change this form into div. We are using live wire. We are not actually like submitting the form in a traditional understanding. So I'm going to remove the method and wire click from here. So I save that. And now let's have a look. So test comment, and as we type, we see that the comment is actually updated using two-way data binding. I click on submit, and now I see this one. That's perfect. So the comment was actually created. Now we need to save that comment. So let's use comment modal create and provide comment. That's going to be this comment. We will need post underscore ID, and we don't have access to post, I think. If we check view blade, we pass post to comments. That comments is the component right here. We actually have access to these comments. Do we have? So let's check these comments component livewire class, and yeah, we don't have this post here declared, which can be available in the comments. Let me check upvote downvote. So we define public post, we need to do the same thing, and then on mount we need to assign this to post. So I'm going to do the same thing. Now this post is available in the comments blade, and I can take this and pass it down to comment create like this. I need to open comment create and do something similar. Okay, this post needs to be defined, and now we have this post available here, so I can use this post ID. And then obviously we need user ID. If the user is trying to create post, but user doesn't exist, we need to redirect to the login page. So I'm going to try to get auth user and check if the user does not exist, we return redirect. Redirect. Can we call this redirect? Okay. Route, or we can specify it login here. Maybe we need the URL, so we can specify login here. So let's save this. However, if that exists, we are gonna execute a user ID. Now I'm gonna open the browser. We have some kind of syntax errors somewhere. I don't see that. Let's reload the page. Okay, that was fixed. And at the moment I'm authorized. However, if I log out and then open one of the posts, scroll down below, type comment, and then type submit, I'm redirected to the login page. And this is exactly what I wanted. Now I'm going to try to log in. I'm going to click on the articles. And let's also have a look if the comment is created. So comment equals comment create, but let's dump and die this comment and have a look. I'm going to close this, test comment, click on submit, and I guess the comment is created. So let's check the database. We see comments table, and inside there's one comment with the text comment. Awesome. So we have just created comment. Now we need to update the view and start iterating and rendering comments. So I'm going to click this submit comment a few times to create multiple comments with at the moment with the same text, but that's fine. Okay, now let's go in the comment create. I'm going to actually remove this comment. I don't need that. And let's go now in the comments. Actually, let's go in the comments component. And right here, we are going to select all the comments, active comments, and pass it down to the comments. And right here, we need to iterate and then render each individual comment. So we can do this in the render. So comments equals comment, where post ID equals to this post ID. And we need to call get. Well, probably we even need to call paginate, because if there are too many comments, not all of them should be displayed. Like, okay, let's start step by step. I'm going to call get, and I'm going to query all of them. So we have all the comments, and I'm going to pass it to comments blade file. So right here I have comments. Now let's start iterating over comments as comment, and then I'm going to use a live wire comment item component and pass it comment to be this comment. Now we need to open comment item component, and we need mount here, public function mount, and we are going to accept a comment here. Let's save this in public comment like this. This comment equals given comment. Now this comment is already available in the comment item. So now let's open comment item, and here let's just output comment, which is a modal, and second comment, which is an actual column name. So I save this. Now reload the page, scroll down below, and we see comment 1, comment 2, comment 3, and so on. So we have all the comments available. So now I need some kind of inspiration, what information I can display for each comment. So comments section, and let's go in the images. Okay, let's click one of those. Like we need username, user avatar, username, the time when that happened. We don't have upvote downvote at the moment, so we can skip that. We have reply. So I think that's it. That's all what we can do, and all the templates will give us roughly the same type of structure. So let's create one div which will have display of flex. Inside there, one div which will be for the authorized user avatar, something like this. We don't actually have avatar management, but yeah, we can leave this as it is right now. So it's going to be a dummy image, whatever. And the second will be an actual comment text. Okay. So this is avatar. Then we have div. Inside the div, the first div will be the username, the comment user name, author of this comment, basically, like John Smith. Let's type like this. And inside there, we're going to also have, so we can make this like a link with hashtag at the moment. We don't have the user's own page, so we can just type John Smith there. And then we also need the time when the comment was actually made. So let's use comment created at. Let's output like this, and we can change this into relative format maybe later. Then down below we have div, which contains the whole comment, actual content, like this. Okay, and down below we can have reply button. Here, let's create another div. Let's create a with href and reply. Okay, that's good. Let's save this and have a look. So we have John Smith. The reply is in a wrong place. This one has display flex. I see. And this reply should be right here. Okay, John Smith. So this needs to have different styles like text, blue, or what color do we use? Like in our comment create component, we use Indigo 600. So we can use the same style in the comment item. Indigo 600. Not ring, but text Indigo 600. Okay, we can even make font semi-bold. Okay, good. We don't have avatar at the moment, which is okay. We can leave this. Then we specify here as well. Reply needs to have text Indigo 600. We obviously need margin bottom 3, maybe even 4. As for the avatar, we can grab the hero icon, user, at the moment. Let's get it, and I'm going to put this here. This is our icon, and this div will have width w like 16, height 16. Let's give it also flex, items center, justify center, and bg gray 100. That's probably too much. Maybe reduce it into 12. BG gray 200 and give it a rounded full. Okay, and let's give this one gap 3. Okay, here we have, at the moment, this is dummy avatar, but later, of course, it can be implemented. We have space for that. This reply, let's give it text small. Perfect. And this comment, let's give it text gray 700. So it's a gray comment. I'm going to remove this and type lorem ipsum to see just how big text look like, and this is good. This is good. Okay, perfect. Let's return comment, and obviously if the comment is made by me, by the user who is actually looking at this, we need delete and edit buttons as well. So right here I can put two more elements. This will be delete, this will be edit. For edit, edit. For edit, we can use like blue color. For delete, we can use red color. Okay, good. Let's put asterisk maybe here, or some dot. No, that's not a good idea. Or we can just put extra margins, like margin left or margin right 3. Okay, all of them is created by me, so that's why I should see them. But if the user is not me, so basically let's use if comment user ID, if that is not the same as the authorized user ID, like I'm going to use auth facade ID. If the ID is not the same, no, if it is the same as comment user ID, then we display edit and delete. And if, let's format the code, and now let's have a look. So I see everything. If I copy this and open in incognito mode, I don't see edit and delete, which is good. Now I want to display them, these dates, in a human readable format. So I think Carbon supports that. So if I use Carbon, well, the comment created is actually already an instance of Carbon, isn't it? So if I just call method here, diff for humans, I think this is the method name. So if I call this and have a look here, I see this 12 minutes ago. Fantastic. Okay, so I have that. I think I should put this in a span and give it like gray color, text gray 500 maybe. Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, now the thing is that when I leave a comment, test comment, when I click submit, I should be able to see this comment immediately, probably at the top, and even this section should be probably at the very top. So let's take care of this. In the comment section, first I'm going to have the leave a comment box and then other comments, so that this will be at the very top. This create comment, let's give this one margin bottom 4, something like this. We have an extra white space. And the thing is that whenever the comment is created, we need to tell the parent to re-render its children. So if I just reload the page, this comment, test comment, is at the very bottom. Also, the comments needs to be sorted by descending. So when I select comments right here, we can specify order by desk created at. Save, reload the page, and we see my latest comment is at the very top. Again, let's type new comment here and click submit. And if I reload the page, I see new comment right here. So I'm going to open this comment create, and whenever the comment is created, instead of dumping, I want to emit up, tell the parent that comment created. So this is the event, and I can also pass the comment that was created. Not this comment, but the actual comment that was created. Now I'm going to open comments class right here, and I will need event listeners here. I believe it's called event list. Let's create public array event listeners. And right here, I'm going to define the event name, comment created, and the actual function. In this case, let's call the function the same name, comment created. This should be probably listeners, yeah. And we can remove this and we can make this protected. It should be protected by default. Okay, so we have render, mount, and at the very bottom, I'm going to add this function, public function, comment created, and we're going to accept a comment right here. And let me actually now dump and die from here, just 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if the code comes right here, this means that our event works successfully. So I save this and let's have a look. Test comment, click on submit. Okay, we see 1, 2, 3. So our comment actually works. And now this render, how we should tell the Laravel live wire to call this render method. Let's actually remove this because it might even do this automatically, like new comment 1. Let's click submit, and something happened. Okay, let's leave new comment 2. Okay, nothing happened. So what we can do is create here public comments, which can be an array of comments like this. So now in mount, we can select these comments equals this. Okay, so we select the comments, and we don't need to pass those comments from here because they are public properties. They will be available in the blade. However, whenever a comment is created, what we can do is get this comment, which by the way should be an instance of comment, and these comments equals, we need to put this new comment right here. And then we can, of course, provide other comments as well. Like this. I'm sure that, I hope this will work. So let's see. Okay, so this is a collection. Okay, we can first remove this. Or maybe we can provide that this is a collection. So this is eloquent collection. So we can provide comments needs to be a collection. Database eloquent collection like this. And now because this is a collection, maybe this has like a merge or something like this. Or I can even use array merge or array concat. Let's use array merge. I'm going to provide my comment, new comment, and these comments. I save that and let's see. Okay, so we scroll down below, new comment 2. Now let's create new comment 3. Click on submit. Array to string conversion. Where did that happen? array to string conversion, and we don't have, do we have the exact file where this happened? I don't find that, and probably something is wrong here. So if we just execute the same query when the comment is added, like this, and by the way, this 4 is too much, maybe 2 will be good. Okay, new comment 4 and click submit. Okay, array to string conversion. Where does this happen? Let's check the comments component. Okay, in this case, we don't do anything. If we comment this line, new comment 5. Okay, we still get this. Not sure where it comes from. So I think the actual problem is coming from the comment create that we are passing here modal. So if we just change this and pass comment ID instead of the modal, and if we go in the comment section and I'm going to accept integer right here ID, then I can select the comment based on the ID. But in this case, I'm going to just select everything and have a look if that works. New comment 6 and click submit. Okay, something happened. Okay, we see new comment 6 right here. New comment 7. Okay, where is new comment 7? It slightly changes the ordering, I think. These comments. This appears at the top of this. Which looks like to be the first one. Okay, if I try to get the comment where ID equals this one and get simply first, then I can call array merge, pass the comment and these comments, and we are going to have a look. New comment 8, click on submit. Okay, here we need to put this in the array square brackets. New comment 9, click on submit. Okay, I want to merge collection. I'm going to look for these Laravel merge collections. I'm sure there will be something. Let's search for merge. You see that. I can create, or I want concat maybe. Yes, I want concat. So I'm going to create a collection and then concat with the previous one. So here I have comment. I'm going to call collect on comment, and then on this call concat with these comments. Okay, let's have a look. New comment 10, click on submit. Okay, can't assign collection to property comments of type. Well, let's remove this type. New comment 11. Well, it works, but I don't know why 11 record is not anywhere here. We need to check how many records are there in the comments. So in the database at the moment we have 20 comments. If I just add like 12, click submit, we see 21. The first one, it should have attributes. The first one is actually 12. Okay, that's probably related to some kind of indexing, caching issues. So basically the collection is successfully updated, but on the front end, it is not updated successfully. So if I just try this once again, okay, there must be a solution for that. A Livewire loop index, something like this. Loop index or loop key, something like this. Like there's these problems in Alpine.js if you don't provide a wire key to elements inside loops. Wire key, that must be it. Let's search for wire key. Here it goes. So if we open this comment item and add wire key here, and there's going to be comment ID, we can even prefix like comment ID. Now we need to have a look. I'm adding 14, still not working. Okay, let's search for, maybe we need to do this not here, but in the comments. Maybe here. Wire key equals, let's paste it. Comment ID. Is this correct syntax? Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's check this one last time. Hopefully it's gonna work, and it worked. Yeah, that was the problem. So now I can add 16. It's attempt to read property ID on array. Okay, what was array? Comment was array. Okay, that's strange. Why was that array? Let's double check this. 17, submit. That worked. I try now 18, submit, and we got this error. Okay, so let's actually print what is comment, and I'm going to comment this line. Here we see 18. Now let's print 19. It's there. Now let's print 20. Something is wrong. I don't see 20 here. Argument 1 must be type of string, array given. So I think the problem is right here when we convert this array of comments into a collection and then concatenate this with these comments. So if we just change this into probably a prepend method, like we have these comments which on which I'm going to call prepend pass selected comment, and have a look. So I'm going to provide 30 here, that was added, 31, that was added, 32, and so on. So that works, that successfully works, which is excellent. Now whenever the comment is added, I want to remove the focus as well as the clear the modal. So that should be slightly easier. In the comment create, I want to, whenever we emit, after we emit, let's set this comment equals an empty string. And that will make this text area empty. However, we're going to also set the focused to be false. Now we need to listen to that comment created event on the component and basically set the focused to be false. So I think we can do this using by listening to that comment created event right here. So I'm going to use comment, or how should we do this? Like x on comment created. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we're going to double check. And then when this happens, I'm going to set focused equals false. So we save that and have a look. Test 1. Okay, the model, it didn't work. The model got empty, but the focused wasn't set. Maybe we need to listen on window. Comment created. Is the name proper? Name? Yeah, we have this comment created. Now let's check this once again. Test 2, click on submit. That doesn't work. Well, I guess I can use wire keyword here. Like I'm going to define init, which will be called whenever the component is initialized, and we can type console log init called. Let's check this. Let's open the browser. I'm going to move this on the right side, and we see init called. And we can also access wire keyword. Wire, and then listen on the event like comment created. And whenever this happens, we can call our callback function and set this focused equals false, I guess. Let's have a look. We don't see any error, which is good. Let's actually type console log whenever comment is created. And let's leave test 3. Submit. Okay, here we go. That worked. So comment created, the cancel submit buttons were disappeared. We see test 3. Now let's add test 4. Okay, perfect. Now let's open comment item, and we're always outputting John Smith right here. We need to access to the user, right? That's going to be comment. The comment doesn't have relationship to the user, so we're going to open comment.php, and we're going to add public function user here, return this belongs to user class. And let's define the return type. I'm going to move this up right here. So now comment has access to user. So comment user name. Let's see what this will print. We see admin. So basically every comment is at the moment made by admin. Okay, so that's good. So far so good. At the moment we print all the comments. We can add pagination or load more later, but we can leave this right now. We're going to implement delete and edit as well. Let's test this once again, like test 5, click on submit, and that was created. Perfect. So we need to implement now delete, edit, and reply on those comments. Let's start with very simple delete. Here we have this delete button. I'm going to add wire click delete comment. Now let's open comment item component, and let's create public function delete comment, and here we have access to the comment, so we just need to execute this comment equals not equals, simply we're going to call delete. but we need to also emit event to the parent that comment was deleted and list needs to be updated. It needs to be removed from the list. So let's call this emit up comment deleted, and we're going to pass this comment ID. Well, let's take the ID. ID equals this comment ID before I delete, and then I pass it. Now let's open comments component. And here, just like I have the comment created, I'm going to duplicate this comment deleted. Let's create this function comment deleted. We accept ID here, and we need to remove that comment with this ID from the collection of comments. Okay, let's have a look at the collection methods. Like, is there any remove? Okay, this removes an item from the collection by its key. Okay, can we call something like this comments pool and provide ID? No, we cannot do this because the key is an index, not ID. Okay, reject filters collection using the given closure. The closure should return true if the item should be removed from the resulting collection. So we can use reject in this case. This comments reject, we get right here the actual comment. It should not be an int, it's a comment. And we are checking if the comment ID is the same as the given ID, which we are going to use here. So then we are rejecting that comment. So finally, we're going to have filtered comments, and this comment, which has the same ID, will be removed from this comments collection. So let's remove this key and let's test this. I'm going to delete this test4. Click right here. Okay, we need to prevent default. Click prevent. That should work. That was deleted, by the way. So let's click delete on test3. That was deleted. Test2, that was deleted. Okay, so just like this, we are deleting. If you want, of course, you can add additional like live wire or JavaScript alert right here. Are you sure you want to delete that? And if the user proceeds, then you can actually proceed and delete that. Okay, so I'm going to leave this as it is now, and let's implement editing of the comment. So whenever we click edit, we want in the same place, probably right here, the input to be displayed so that user can edit that, and then submit and cancel buttons will be right there as well. Now let's start working on to edit comments. Whenever we click edit button, it really jumps at the top because we have hashtag right there. Deleting is already implemented. So let's open post item blade and let's have a look. So this is we want comment item. And at the very bottom, we have this edit button. So just like we are listening to the click of the delete button using Livewire, I'm going to listen to click and call prevent as well right here. And I'm going to call method start comment edit. Now let's open comment item class. And at the very top, I'm going to define a Boolean property editing, which by default will be false. Okay, and down below, let's define the function start a comment edit. Whenever this method is called, editing will become true. Right. So in the comment item, now we have this editing flag available. And this is where actual text is outputted, comment text. But if we are in editing mode, we need to do it slightly differently. Like if editing, then we need to do something else. In else case, we render the comment again, and then we have end if. Okay, what do we need to do here? So we need to render the similar input like we have here. We can create new input, but I'm going to try to reuse an existing comment create component. If we open now comment create, which is created at the moment for just creating a comment, we can customize it a little bit. I'm going to also open comment create class here. All right, now in comment item, I will try to use that component livewire comment / create. Okay, if we are in editing mode, we need to render this input. Okay, now when I click edit, we see this input field. We are in editing mode, but we have some extra work, obviously. First, we need to load the actual value, which is written right here inside this text area. Also, we want to trigger like a click so that submit and cancel buttons are immediately visible whenever we click this edit. So how to do this? In this comment create, we can, in the mount, we can accept one additional argument, which will be the modal, comment modal. So basically, if we are editing, we can accept this modal. I'm going to call this, let's call this comment modal. By default, it's going to be null, so that the comment creation will not be broken. And then this, okay, I'm going to define also modal here. Public comment modal equals null. And let's specify question mark here as well. So we define comment modal equals to received comment modal, and we're going to also check if the comment modal has comment inside there, or if it exists. So let's do like this. This comment, which is an actual text, which needs to be displayed in the text area, this text will equal, if the comment modal exists, then it's going to be comment modal comment. So if that exists, we are editing and we are taking from this modal the comment column data. Otherwise, we take it empty. So if I save this already and reload the page and click on this, I expected to see the comment loaded right here. I know why I don't see, because we don't pass comment modal. So let's specify comment modal from here, and that's going to be current modal. So we're going to pass comment as a modal. Then when we click edit, we see 30 loaded inside. Okay, now whenever we click edit, we want immediately submit and cancel buttons to be visible. Okay, how we are going to do that? In the comment create, we display those buttons if focused is set to true. So we probably need to define a new variable like isEdit variable. So if we are editing, we want those buttons to be always visible. So if we are in edit mode, inside this comment create, now we have access to this comment modal. Okay, and it might be null or it might be object. So we need to check if comment modal exists. We are going to output true in the JavaScript. Otherwise, we're going to output false. So pay attention that I'm using right here true or false as a string, because this portion needs to be replaced whatever we are outputting, true or false. And if it needs to be true, simply this will be replaced with true. And this is exactly what I want. So now whenever this is edit, if it's either focused or edit, let's do like this. If is edit or focused, then we display it. If is edit or focused, then the number of rows will be 2. Okay, we do like this. Now let's reload the page and click edit, and now we immediately see buttons as well as this 30 number. Okay, small thing. On the submit, I'm going to give it margin right 3 to have a small margin between this cancel and submit. And also, I want cursor to be inside the text area whenever I click edit. So I'm going to listen inside the init. Basically, this is triggered every time the component is created. I'm going to check if this is edit, then I'm going to call a focus method on the text area, but I'm going to specify xref on the text area. This is Alpine.js to basically define a name for that text area component. Let's give it input. And then this refs input focus will do the rest. So now click edit, and we are focused inside the text area and we can start editing. Now, whenever we click cancel, we need to hide everything. So let's have a look in the cancel button. Here we have that. So whenever we click cancel, nothing happens. Let's check also developer tools. If we have some errors, we know about it immediately. Focused equals false. So we need to set is edit to be false as well whenever we click cancel. Okay, now edit and cancel, and buttons disappear, but we still see this input. And that happens because comment item is still in editing mode. Right, so whenever we click this cancel button, we need to also emit event to the parent. So I'm going to call wire emit up, and let's call this event cancel editing. So I'm telling the parent component that, hey, I'm just canceling the editing. This happens from the comment create component, which is used right here. So this component will trigger cancel editing, and now inside that component, comment item component, we can listen to that event. Let's define listeners right here. On cancel editing, we can call a function called cancel editing, and at the very bottom, we define this cancel editing. This editing equals false. Now let's have a look. I click edit. We are in the editing mode. I type some characters, then I click cancel, and let's have a look. Oh, I didn't expect this still to be visible. Let's reload the page. Type something, click cancel, and this is exactly, yeah. So I just needed to reload the page. So click edit, type something, click cancel, and it goes back to its original value. That's perfect. But now let's handle update. Whenever we click on submit button, what needs to be done? That happens in the comment create. So now the create comment will be called, and simply we need to check if this comment modal exists. It means that we are in edit mode, else we are in create mode. So the code what we have here so far will go in else, but in if we need to do the following. So this comment modal comment will be this comment, and this comment will be text area text. Then on this comment modal, I'm going to call save, which will save changes in the database. I'm going to also set this comment to be an empty string, and I'm going to also tell the parent that editing is basically finished, or like we are emitting a comment created, we need to do something similar like comment updated. So this emit up comment updated. Okay, I'm not going to pass any arguments. That's going to be enough. We are doing this comment updated from the comment create, which is used inside this comment item. So in the comment item, I'm going to listen to comment updated. And whenever this happens, I'm going to define new function. Whenever this happens, I'm going to set editing to be false, like this. So I save and reload, click edit, click cancel, that works magically. And now let's give it updated. So I'm going to click submit, and that was updated. Now if I reload the page, it is there, it is updated, it is perfect. Okay, so far so good. However, one extra security step will be right here to check if that specific model is owned by current user. I'm going to do this right here. If this model exists, and maybe, by the way, this, if user exists, we can move this up. If user doesn't exist, we redirect user to login. Now at this moment, we know that comment model exists and the user exists. So we're going to check. And this comment model user ID, if that equals, or let's do like this. Inside the comment model, I'm going to write additional if statement. If the comment model user ID does not equal, it's something different from the currently authorized user's ID, I'm going to throw new, like, forbidden exception, or I can't throw. So I'm going to simply return maybe a response and status code 403. I think in the response we can also define, I'm going to return you are not allowed to perform this action, like this. And the status code will be 403, forbidden. So I can test this from the interface unless I make a JavaScript AJAX request. And exactly this is what we are doing, preventing others from sending incorrect, inappropriate requests. And we need to do the same check, by the way, when we are about to delete comment. So in the comment item, right here, we need to check if comment user ID is different from the currently authorized user's ID. So let's get this user from here. And by the way, here we also need to check if the user doesn't exist and someone somehow makes a delete request. It should not happen, basically. So if the, let's move this down as well. Okay. So first we check if the user doesn't exist, we redirect user to login. Then if the comment user ID is different from the user ID, then we return the following response on delete. So extra security step. Now we have deleting of comments, which works successfully. New comment right here. Here we go. We can edit this comment and it is edited. Now we need to take care of replying comments. Now let's start working on replying on comments. First of all, we're going to define foreign key parent ID on the comments because we haven't defined this. I'm going to create new migration, PHP artisan make migration, add parent ID on comments table. Okay, let's open now, add parent ID on comments table. Here we go. On so we need to accept a schema like we're doing. So I'm going to grab this. Let's define on comments table, we define foreign ID, parent ID, and that is nullable, and that has constraint on comments table. All right, and we need to drop that in down as well. Drop column parent ID. We haven't defined this, so that's why we need that. And now I'm going to open also comment PHP modal and define this parent ID right here. So at the moment I decided to only allow 2 level of comments. So we're gonna have like the root level comments and the child. We are not gonna have grandchildren of the parent and so on. So there will be only 2 level of comments. And in this case, this parent ID will be absolutely enough. But generally, if you want to have a very nested tree type of data, you should probably consider something like nested set model or similar thing. Okay, so in this case, that's going to be fine. So we have the parent ID. Let's apply migration, PHP artisan migrate. Here we go. And now let's open post item, comment item blade. And we need to listen to this reply. Wire click prevent start reply, and that's it, start reply. Now let's open comment item class as well, and down below let's create public function start reply. Okay, let's define a flag like similar to editing what we have, public boolean replying equals, by default this is false, but whenever we call start replying, I'm going to set this replying equals true. All right, now whenever user clicks that, we need to display this type of component, but as a child of this component. And we also later need to handle the case rendering child comments. But how do we need to do? So I'm going to grab this. So we are adding actually a new comment. So what I'm going to do down below, probably here, I'm just going to paste this and remove this comment. This is absolutely new comment. So let's have a look. Let's have a look what happens. We see this probably not ideal place. Let me have a look. So this is the div, this is the image, and then this is, okay, we need to put this at the very bottom, right here. Save that. Now let's have a look. Not ideal again. And now I'm going to put this right here at the very bottom of this div. That should be good. Okay. So that's actually not bad. We always see these leave a comment, which should have a different placeholder, which we can do, no problem. Whenever I click on this, it's going to expand it. Whenever I type something, it's going to save. The only thing what we should probably do, that this input should not be rendered unless we click this reply. So what I'm going to do is, if replying is true, then we render, and if, then we render this live wire comment create. Now, we don't see, as soon as I click this reply, then I see this leave a comment, and also we should trigger like the focus on that as well. Okay, let's go in the, let's close the migration and modal, this one as well, and let's open comment create and also comment /create blade file. So the text area and the buttons is only visible if it is in edit mode or if focused is true. What if we set focused equals true based on whether it's a reply or not? So in the comment create, I'm going to define a flag. Let me think. I'm thinking. So I'm going to define a flag called replying equals false by default. Then I'm going to accept right here a Boolean variable replying, which by default equals false. And I'm going to set this replying equals replying. Now, let me take this replying and right here, I'm going to define. So if at the moment user is replying to some comment, then we set this to be true. Otherwise, we set this to false. So by default, it's going to be false. When I click, then this will appear. However, if I click reply, we need to pass those replying flag. So from the comment item right here, we need to pass replying equals true. So this is actually a reply. Well, replying is probably not ideal name, so I will call it reply. Just reply, like this. Rep ly. Here we go. Let's do this. Okay, perfect. And from the comment item, I'm going to also specify reply true, and then in the comment create, I'm going to specify reply true. Okay, let's check this. Perfect. I click on reply and look at this. So now we already have a submit and cancel buttons visible. So because this focus was already set to be true. And we can also do the same thing like we are doing here. If this is edit or this is focused, then we run a focus. Not sure what this will do when we focus. So basically when we are focusing, this int is not called. So that's perfect. That's perfect. So whenever we click reply, then it's automatically focused. And now let's take care of saving the comment. If it is reply also in the comment item, we have to provide a parent comment, right? So in the comment create, we need one additional variable. Let's call this parent comment equals parent comment equals a null by default. Okay. Parent comment equals null. I'm going to define this parent comment here as well. And I'm also thinking that maybe we don't even need this reply. Because whenever we pass parent comment, it automatically means that we are replying to something because we have parent. Okay, let me try to remove this reply. So I'm going to take this parent comment, and this parent comment equals parent comment. So we don't need reply. Let's try to remove it from here and from here as well. I'm going to remove it from here as well, but instead I'm going to use parent comment. So if parent comment exists, then focused true, otherwise false. In the comment item, instead of passing reply, I'm going to pass parent dash comment equals the current comment, which we can access from anywhere in this component. Now let's double check this. So everything works so far previously as it was working previously. Now click reply and we're in the focus mode, which is excellent. Now I type something, and whenever I click submit, which is inside the comment create, here let's first take care of this creation. So here we need to check. Basically I can do like this: parent ID equals this parent comment question mark arrow ID. So if this parent comment exists, it's gonna take its ID. If it doesn't exist, it's gonna provide a null. And then we trigger comment create, and I have question now where this comment, new comment will appear. I think it will appear at the top, right here, because we don't render it as a tree. Okay, I'm going to click, let's just reload, and click reply and type something and click submit. Okay, we have an error. Let's see. Integrity concern. Okay, column post ID cannot be, okay, post ID cannot be null. We don't provide post, right? So we have to provide post here, and that will be comment post. By the way, comment I think doesn't have relation to post. So let's open comment.php. Let's duplicate this. Post belongs to post. Okay, this is perfect. Now let's just reload the page, click reply, something, and click submit. And this is exactly what I was expecting. So the new comment was created. It appeared at the very top. This is something we need to handle. Second is that this leave a comment needs to be hidden. So in the comment create, when the comment is actually created, and that comment create is called from the comment item from here. So in the comment item, let's open comment item, we have listeners, editing and updated. So I'm going to duplicate this line and add one more listener, which will be comment created. So if the comment created function is called on the comment item, it definitely means that we are creating child comment. If comment created is triggered from here, this component has nothing related to comment item, right? But this component is inside the comment item. Now, whenever comment created is triggered and this function is called in the comment item, we are sure that a child comment was just created. So what we need to do is first set this replying to be false. Let's do like this. And this will basically hide the input completely. Let's test this so far. Test, click submit. Okay, that was hidden. And now the parent component, which is a comments component, needs to handle rendering the comments properly. All right, let's check comments table and have a look. We have parent ID on 2 comments. Excellent. Now let's open comments.php. Here we are selecting the comments on mount. Okay, I'm gonna extract this in its own function called select comments, like this, and we have the select comments at the very bottom right here. Okay, and I'm gonna do now the following. So the comment, whenever we are iterating and rendering comments, we use a couple of things. We use comment post, so we need with post. We are using also comment user, so we need user as well. User, single user. Now let's open comment model, and we also need child comments. So the comment basically has comments as well. And that will be has many. Okay, and how is it related? So comment class by the foreign key will be by parent ID. I think that should be like this. So let's just remove this belongs to. That's not accurate. And let's just return has many. But we also need belongs to, which will be parent comment. I'm not sure whether we need this or not, but let's just define parent comment. And this is belongs to. Belongs to. Belongs to. Yeah, this is how it should be. This will be belongs to comment by the foreign key. Okay, not sure if this is 100% correct. Let's see if this works. Otherwise, I can double check that. So we have comments And now in the comment item, when we iterate, okay, right here, I am going to print the current comment comments, which will give me all the children comments of the current comment. Let's have a look. Empty array, and here I have 2 comments. Then always I have empty array, and this is perfect. This is exactly what I expected. Now I'm going to open comments.blade, and I can simply grab this code and put this right here, but change only these comments. Instead of these comments, it's going to be comment comments. And here also we can call this child comment. All right, now we're going to pass this child comment here, and we're going to also use child comment ID here. Now let's have a look. I'm already so excited because we're very close to final thing. So here we have those comments. I think we need some kind of like a margin, padding, things like that. So I'm gonna put everything in its own div, and let me actually first check if comments, if that exists, if that's not empty basically, then we call end if, and let's give this one margin top 4 maybe. Okay, so we need to check if that's not empty. I thought that whenever you check this, like in PHP, I think when you check comment comments, if this is an empty array, it's a falseable value and it will not render this code. But I think this is rendering because for this, there is no comment actually, but here we see this is still the empty div. So if not empty, then okay, let's have a look. This is probably collection, and that's why it always satisfied. So because this is a collection, it should probably have a like size maybe. Okay, it doesn't have size. Let's check size or length. Okay, I want to get the length of the collection, or count maybe. It should probably have count. Let's see. Okay, yes, it has count. And now these comments are child comments of this comment. Perfect. So if I click reply, now this appears right here. Another comment is written. Let's see. Click submit. That another comment. Okay, this is interesting. Another comment goes right here and right here. That happens because let's first see why it happens. I'm going to open comments. I think I don't have this comments.php. Okay, here it goes. No, comment created. Here it goes. So basically when the new comment is created, it is added at the very top of existing comments. So that's why the new comment went right there. Then that caused re-rendering of this live wire component. And during render phase, we get the current comment comments. And that's why we see the same comment twice added here and here as well. Okay, let me do minor thing first. The latest comment should be at the very top, always. If I just reload the page, I see that this is at the very bottom. So if I open this comment and this has many, let's specify here order by disk created at underscore it. Reload the page and we see latest comment at the very top. Okay, next is to handle the scenario when that comment goes in a proper place. This is important. And that can be done through a flag, I believe. So from the comment create, we emit this comment created and we pass this comment ID. in the comments PHP, we listen to that, select this comment, and here we are going to check if the comment parent ID, if that does not exist, it means that this is a root level comment and it needs to be added in this array. However, if this has parent ID, it's a child comment on something else, and we should not do anything. However, the Livewire component will be re-rendered, and then we will see it properly. Let's have a look. This another comment, why it appears. Okay, give me a second. This test is here. Okay, I see. Now we render right here all child and parent comments. So we need to skip and remove child comments. So we have these select comments, and let's add here where parent ID, we are null. Where parent ID is null. And I want to specify comments as well inside the with, because I want to eagerly load post, user, and comments for every comment. Okay, so far so good. Now let's try to add a new comment. New comment. Let's click submit. Here we go. Here we go. Excellent. So new comment was added right here. Let's click reply on that, which in turn creates its own box inside there, but I think we need to completely probably disable that. Let's see, we're gonna check. Also, I noticed that when I click cancel, it still stays in this, the leave a comment still stays. Let's check how we need to take care of this. So here we have this create comment, which is for replying. And when we click cancel from inside, where is that? Comment create. Okay, cancel, we call cancel editing. Okay, and in the comment item, we listen cancel editing, and we set editing equals false, but we also need to set replying equals false. Let's see. So I click reply here, that appears, click cancel, that disappears. Here we need to probably completely remove reply. Let's check what happens. Something. Click submit. Okay, what is this? Just reload the page, and we see this nested comment. And you know what? That works out of the box. That works out of the box. Well, the functionality is there and it's working, which is really good. However, it's not going to be very, very optimal. Like if you install debug bar and have a look, it's going to do a lot of requests to the database. Not sure if this is necessary or not, but I think we have this functionality and we should probably spend a little bit more time to optimize it to make less requests. But also we should probably also have like a pagination, display only first 20 comments and then implement load more. So there are a few things to do, but the functionality is there and it's working, which is really good. I love it. Yeah, the update works like a charm. So I'm going to click delete, and the delete didn't work. Or maybe it worked, but it wasn't re-rendered. Yes. So if I click delete here, it wasn't re-rendered. If I click delete here, that is removed. Okay, we need to check what's going on when we click delete in the comment item. Here we have this delete. It emits comment deleted, and we probably need to listen to comment deleted okay, what do we do when this happens? We are listening this inside comments. And what do we do? So we just filter the array. So in this case, let's just hit delete. That's actually already deleted. Okay. So when I click delete right here, it filters out this list and we have new comments. Okay. What do we need to do is this. We are going to query the comment based on the ID, and we are going to check if the comment parent ID exists. If that doesn't exist, then we filter and extract, just reject the comment, what was passed. Okay, but however, if the parent ID is set, we should not do this. If I click delete right here, let's see, I'm going to click delete here. Okay, attempt to read. Okay, I see. So it was not able to, yeah, the comment was deleted and we passed ID right here. We reject it, but if we just try to select the comment, that comment doesn't exist because we just deleted that comment. So that was not correct what I did right now. Instead, we just can refresh the whole comment section or just manually remove that comment from the child collection of that specific comment. That is tricky thing. So if I just revert this here, and we can keep tracking if the comment has if the comment was found and if that was rejected. If it wasn't rejected, we will assume that it is probably a child comment of another comment, right? And then we need to run this reject on a child comments, which in my opinion can be done, but it's going to be a little bit too complex. So what I'm thinking right now is I will simply execute this select comments again. So now let's have a look. We don't have any child comments. I just click delete and now we see the list. So now I'm going to go ahead and delete those multiple comments. I don't want all of them. Okay, we have a lot of actually. Okay, now let's define child comment of this. Child comment 1. Let's click submit. Here we see the child comment. I reload the page, it is there. I'm going to define another child comment, child comment 2. Click submit, we see it right here. Now let's delete the child comment 2. Well, it was deleted, I think, but the view was not updated. Click on delete again. It was deleted, but the view was not updated. Okay, I'm going to double check if the code execution comes right here when the comment is deleted for child. Like when we delete a root level comment, definitely code comes right here. Now let's define child comment 1. Click on submit. Child comment 2. Click on submit. And now I delete this and well, the code comes here. And is there an error? No, there's no error. That's just our dump and die. Okay, so this should update the comment section. It is reselecting the comments. However, it still includes the new comments, or view does not update properly. Click on delete. Okay, it does not update the view. Okay, so what I think we can do here, that instead of calling this comment deleted, here we can call refresh, which is a Livewire keyword, so call it. So if I just remove this comment deleted completely, whenever a comment is deleted, it's going to call refresh. Refresh will obviously do the entire, like probably mount as well, which will select comments and everything. So it should work. Now let's define child1 and let's define child2. Submit. Now I'm going to try to delete this, and it does not do the refresh as I expected. No, it doesn't do the refresh. It does, however, like even if I completely remove this comment deleted and add comment 1, comment 2, comment 3. Okay, now I don't listen to delete, and if I click on delete, now it doesn't do anything. Okay, so if I add this, it's gonna do refresh or refresh. So I click on delete and it's gonna do refresh. If I create child comment 1, child comment 2, then if I just reload the page entirely and then click delete, it does not do this refresh. If I click delete again, we're going to have an error because that was actually already deleted. This is actually strange. Okay, what I think maybe Eloquent saves all the child comments in its own cache. Like when we select these comments on mount, basically, and let's double check, by the way, if mount is called on refresh. So I save this, and now I click delete on this. Okay, mount is not called. Mount is called right here. Okay, I think simplest solution here, and I think also correct solution here, will be to put these comments again in the render, and every time there's comment created or deleted, this render method will be called, and it's gonna reselect everything and render them properly. Okay, I tried to create a kind of optimal solution that whenever new comment is created, we just add this in existing comments array and don't select entire list of comments, but I think it's fine, and in the future we might even need to add pagination and display just 20 comments and then load more, so selecting 20 comment is not a big deal. So what I think now is I'm going to grab this, and here I'm going to select the comments, and then I'm going to pass these comments here. I'm going to remove this comments array completely, and whenever comment is created, I'm going to call also refresh, like this. Whenever comment is created or comment is deleted, it's going to call refresh. Now let's check how this will work. Reload the page. Test comment, hit submit, it is added, perfect. Another comment, click submit, it is added right here, perfect. Now let's reply. 1, click submit, it is here. 2, submit, it is here. Now let's delete parent comment first. That was deleted. Another comment, deleted, perfect. Now let's delete child comment. No, it still stays. Come on. So I'm sure this render is actually called. So we can double check this. Let's see. Render is called obviously right here, so I'm going to comment this line and reload the page, and let's add 1 and add 2. Now I'm going to uncomment this, and if I delete one comment, then render is called, and that should not have this comment anymore. So I'm going to dump these comments here. More specifically, I'm going to dump the first comment from here. Let's see. Hold on. So I'm going to delete this, and then I'm going to dump this comment and check what is its comments property. So let's click delete here. Here we go. It has attributes, and we are interested in relations, comments, items, which is obviously 0. It doesn't have length. So then this renders the comments section. Let's open comments section, comments.blade, then comment create and comment item. If we open now comment item, here we get the comments count. I'm going to print what is the count. Those are the child comment count, and those are the actual child comments. I'm going to also print if there are those child comments here, and maybe I need to remove this. Let's test. 0 child comments, fine. 1, there's 1 child comment. 2, there are 2 children comments. Okay, this has, no, this is just 2. Okay, so far so good. Now I delete this comment. This is still 2, and this does not change. Okay, I think this is related to Livewire, not the Livewire, but the Laravel. So let's search for Laravel object is cached, something like this. Okay, I want to basically reselect the Laravel component. Let me actually make sure that this is definitely a problem. So that's why here I have 1 comment, and before I hit the delete button here, I'm going to take this and print comments at 0 comments. So these will be child comments. So I save that and click on delete. Now this gives me collection with items empty, and I don't see anything there, which is correct, right? But somehow it is not correct. What about count? What are the children comment count? So I'm going to define 1 and 2. Now let's delete this one. Child comment count is 1, which is correct. Reload the page. Now there's 1 comment. I uncomment this line and click on delete. Now there's 0 comment. However, if I proceed, then it has very, 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 very strange. This is a comment. Maybe the component is cached because of this ID. So the ID does not change, right? Maybe that is cached. So what if I print right here comment comments, comments. Okay, let's print that. Those are children comments. Okay, now there are 0 children comments. I'm going to add 1. Here we see 1. Let's add 1 more. Okay, here we see that. Now I delete this. Okay, here it was changed, but not here. And then I delete this. Now this cleared up. Pay attention. This still contains. Because the comment ID was not properly changed, here is the problem. What if I specify right here key to be comments, comment, hold on, comments count. So the key of that specific component will be comment, the comment ID, as well as the number of comments this has. So if it increases or decreases, it will force the live wire to re-render that specific component. Well, that's a clever idea, but let's see if that works in action. So I reload the page, I add 1, I add 2. Now I delete this, and it worked. And it worked. Okay, amazing. And if so far you're watching this and you haven't clicked a like button, I think it's perfect time to pause the video, hit the like button. I will be very, very thankful to you. Okay, so now leaving comment as a children comment, editing that, deleting that comment, deleting every comment, everything basically works perfectly as it is supposed to work. Now I'm going to define one global search input field and then search basically everywhere. Let's open up Blade, the main layout file, and I want to define this below header, below top nav, probably right here inside the container. So if I just type input, and this is it. However, I want this to be, now this has display flex and flex wrap, which I'm going to remove if you don't mind. Okay, that's okay. And this is the input field, which I want to show on the full width. Also, the container width is too much, maybe. So I want to show this on a full width. So I'm going to get the input from comment create, comment/create. Here we have this text area. So I'm going to grab that and paste here. Now let's adjust. Let's remove this fire model and click. Let's remove xref. I'm going to change this into input. And let's remove rows. Type and hit enter to search anything. So yeah, something like this. Okay, here we see that it has like some weird styles, to be honest. If you zoom in a lot, it has 2 colors. Why does it have those 2 colors? If I inspect that and right click and focus, it has also active. What's that? That's really strange. Where does this black something is coming from. Okay, what if I remove this ring gray 300? What if I remove all those classes? Like everything. Let's see. We have black, block, text gray 900, fine. Ring gray 300, and when we type inside, it's gonna have ring indigo. Okay, I save this and we see this input. However, again, like it's strange. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. Maybe I can remove all the indigo ring classes. That behaves really strangely for me, but I'm gonna leave it as it is. Let's give it padding 3, and I'm gonna put this inside padding 3, and now whenever I type something and hit the enter, I want the search to filter only those articles which filter the which satisfy the following filtering criteria. Okay, so let's implement first form. So I'm going to create form. Inside there we're going to have we don't need button, I think, but we might need. So I have a doubt that if you don't have a button and you just try to submit the form without a button, it's not going to work. Let's give it method. Method should be get. Action can be current route. So we just specify. Yeah, we can leave this empty actually. Action. And now if I let's give this name just Q. And if I type something like JavaScript and hit the enter, it filters and we see Q JavaScript. And now we need to only match those articles which has JavaScript right there. Okay, but we also need, in my opinion, like a dedicated search page. So what I'm going to do is open web.php and let's define one additional route here. That's going to be search. The route will be search. This will be search. So in this case, I'm going to specify route to be search. Perfect. And let's open this home, or maybe like another one which is by category. And I'm going to duplicate this. Let's call this search. We don't have category. We have request here. And we're going to get Q from request get Q. Okay, and now we need to filter the posts which satisfy the following criteria. And we also need pagination, I think. So I'm going to get these posts. Let's remove this join and where we need active, published, order by published date. But the main thing is that we have to specify where title like our given Q. So in this case, it should be in like this, I believe. Title like this. And then we pass posts, but I will want to pass this into post, not post index. Let's search for post index. This is it. But instead, I want post search maybe. So I'm going to copy and paste this post index and call this search. Okay, I'm going to use post search here, passing the posts. And we have these post links, which is fine, which will be the same type of next and previous links as we had before, which is okay. So this is a search page. We can specify like blog search, meta titles. I'm going to remove this. You can specify if you want. And now we have those posts, which I'm not going to render. I'm going to render it slightly differently, maybe. But let's first check if the actual searching works. Like I'm going to type JavaScript here, hit the enter, and find a variable category. Okay, where does it go? I deleted this from index. I had to delete this from search. Okay, whatever is in the URL, I have to put this in this input field as well. So in the app blade, I'm going to give this value request get queue. Here we see JavaScript. If I go on home page, I don't see anything here. Type JavaScript, hit the enter, and it filters only one post, which is awesome. However, I'm going to change the rendering as I mentioned. So instead of using a post item here, I'm going to do it very simple, like h2. That's going to be post. That's going to be post title. Div. We're going to output post short body, maybe like this. Okay, this needs to be in the not in the center. So maybe I can remove these items center, not necessary. That's good. And let's specify here text blue 500, font bold, text LG, above small screen it's going to be text XL. Okay, maybe margin bottom 2 as well. But whenever we click on this, it needs to open its inner page. So we need to define route for view and provide an actual post. Okay, so far so good. Now let's search for something like Alice, and we see multiple Alice. Let's remove flex completely and give this margin bottom 8 maybe. This doesn't seem to be working. No, I should not have specified it here. I should have wrap everything in its own div and give this one class margin bottom 8. We can even use HR and completely remove this and give this HR class a margin vertical 4 maybe. That's good. So now we have this, which is excellent. Well, there might be, like, again, I'm going to give you a challenge. Right now we see that Alice keywords are matched in many places. It's going to be awesome if you actually highlight all the matchings which are there and make it like actually yellow. For example, so we are about to output the title here. What we can do is call str replace on this post title and search for the keyword, actual keyword, which will be request get Q, replace it with something else inside here. So in this case, I'm just replacing with the empty string, and this should remove all the alias matchings, and it definitely removed from title. But instead of replacing with empty string, you should replace it with something like span. I'm actually doing this, but I'm going to give you additional challenge right now. Span class, we're going to give it PG yellow 400, something like this. Now let's see. Okay, we are going to output this as an HTML. I don't remember how to do this by heart, so Laravel output HTML. This is how I should do this, yeah. So I save this and look at this. So now this is all the matching. 400 is maybe too much, 300. Okay, so here are the matchings you can easily identify. You can do something similar in body as well, but the point is that if there is matching in the body, it might not be in this short body, it might be in the long body. If I open this and search for like this keyword, begin to repeat it. Okay, I type this here, hit the enter, and it doesn't find anything because we don't search actually in the body, but we have to do this. So let's duplicate this, where or where. I'm going to specify now body like the given keyword. So now if I type the following text, hit the enter, it finds few things, but we don't see anything in yellow simply because the matching is outside of this short body. Okay, as a challenge, and it's pretty like interesting challenge, you can change what is actually outputted right here. So at the moment we just take first like 30 words, but based on an actual matching, it is somewhere right here, try to output from previous sentence, like from here to whatever, here or here. So take the highlighted section and output that in the search instead of the first few sentences, first few words, whatever. I hope you get the idea. And yeah. So let's see if the search actually does the job on other pages. I want to reduce the width of the search, just like we have this on home page. So I'm going to open the home, and here we have the max W for Excel. I'm going to do the same thing. Let's give this max W, and let's give it MX auto. Save, reload. This is how I want that. And I'm going to type again something that finds, and it is clickable. Okay. By the way, why this is not found? Are we search for a non-active? Okay, yes. So this or where basically is or where for everything else. So we need those two to be inside. Well, I'm going to do like this. Where function, we get query, and then I add like this. And we need to use the Q here. So where title is like this, or body is this. So now we should not see so many. Well, we see so many. If I click, that works, click, that works. I guess all of them works. So we have successfully implemented our search, and we also have those pagination buttons as well. If I go in the Laravel page, I'm looking at the Laravel articles. I can even start typing from here and search for something else, which should actually filter based on the category and then based on the keyword as well. So this is something also to consider. So if I'm on a view page, I probably should not see that. Or if we assume that this is a global search, which by the way, I don't like where it is right now. So I'm thinking maybe I need to grab this form and put this, maybe here. What if we'll leave it here? Let's give it class font normal or medium. Okay, I think I want it to be there inside that div, to be on the right side. Let's give this one flex align items center. Now let's search for JavaScript, and every time now this makes more sense. Every time whenever we type something here, it is in the header, and that will always redirect us to the search page. Even if you are on Laravel, even if you are searching for PHP or whatever, you type something again and you are redirected to the search page. So that's a global search on your website. However, when you click and then go back, yeah, it's preserved. Okay, fine, that functionality works. Now, let's deploy our project on production environment with custom domain. When you sign up on Hostinger and then log in, you will be redirected to the H panel. From here, we can claim our free domain. You're going to see the following section. If you signed up with premium shared hosting, then click this claim domain. And then right here, we need to provide our domain name. So in this case, this is going to be like a my personal blog type of website. So I'm going to choose like thecodeholic.net. I'm sure this is going to be free. So let's check availability. So here we go. The domain is available, thecodeholic.net. That's perfect domain for me. I already own codeholic.com. By the way, if you want to check that, feel free to check. You can find Laravel e-commerce course right there. Now I'm going to click claim domain. Choose your domain carefully because you aren't going to be able to change it easily. Then right here, if you're doing this very first time, you have to provide your profile information such as your address and email and things like that. I already have a existing profile, so I'm going to just click finish registration. Now it will ask me a few more steps. I'm going to click continue, and here we go. My domain is already available, so I'm going to just copy this and open new tab, hit the enter, and you should see the following page, thecodeholic.net. Happy to see your domain with Hostinger. Since we claimed our domain, now we need to set up our web hosting. I'm going to click on the home logo, and then I'm going to choose this premium web hosting. Let's click setup, start now. I'm going to skip basically everything. I want to create everything from scratch, create new websites. So I'm going to click skip right here as well. So here I have option to choose a domain. And in this case, I'm going to choose the codeholic.net, and I'm going to click select. And now I need to choose a location, and you can choose one location from which is probably close to you. And then I'm going to click finish setup. Now let's scroll down below. You will need to wait a couple of seconds or maybe 2 minutes until the whole process is done. SSL is going to be installed as well automatically, and the web server will be configured for your domain. Now I'm going to click this view website, and it's going to open our domain. However, it is still not under SSL. So it might take a few seconds or minutes to make this SSL actually working. However, we can click this manage site and check what's the SSL status at the very moment. This is the control panel from which you can manage your domain and anything basically related to the domain. From here in the search, I can search for SSL, and we can see what's this current status of this SSL. And right now it is in the installing process. You're going to wait for like 2 or 3 minutes until this is fully installed. If it is failed, then you will have an action to retry installing that. Sometimes it fails on the first try, but then it installs without any problem. And I already got a notification that it was successfully installed. So if I open my domain and just reload, I see now my domain is under SSL. Now, if we go in this control panel, right here we have much more options. I really recommend to check that if we're gonna use Hostinger's premium shared hosting services, because they offer huge configuration options. Like where I'm interested right now is to switch PHP version to the latest one. I'm gonna click PHP configuration right here. And then I have a couple of options, and I'm gonna choose PHP 8.1. And I'm gonna click update. I'm going to confirm. Now we have switched PHP version to 8.1, and now we can already log into this server using SSH, and we can clone our project. In search, I'm going to type SSH, click SSH access. Here we have the details for our SSH server. First of all, pay attention that SSH status is inactive. So we need to click enable right here. Then this is the IP port username, and we need to set password. I recommend to set very secure password. Let's set something. Okay, I'm going to click change. My SSH password was saved. It is even recommended to use public private key authentication when connecting to SSH server. So if you know what is that, and if you have public key generated, I really encourage you to click add SSH key right here, provide your public key, click add SSH key, and then you will be authorized to the server through SSH. Now I'm going to copy the following command, and I'm going to open PowerShell, Windows PowerShell, and I'm going to paste the command right here. Windows PowerShell by default supports SSH. It's also a SSH client. If you are on Mac or on Linux, probably your terminal will also support SSH. So right here, I'm trying to execute SSH command with port. This is the username, and this is the IP. Let's click enter. We have to type yes here, and I'm going to provide now my password. Probably I made a mistake. Okay, here's my here's my SSH server. So I'm inside the server. Now let me actually zoom in this slightly. If I go in the properties and font, and let's increase that. Perfect. Now let's enlarge this on full screen, and now let's have a look. ls-la. So this is it. So the whole project, what you see in the browser, is at the moment under public HTML folder, and that public HTML folder is a symbolic link from the following path, and that path is domains thecodeholic.net public HTML. So it's a little bit hard to read this until you highlight that, but that's the actual path where the HTML, what is rendered right here is used. So if I go right here, and I'm going to delete this thecodeholic.net completely. So let's go inside domains folder using cd, and I'm going to execute rm-rf thecodeholic.net. So I completely delete this folder, and right now if I go back, I have this public HTML which references to a broken non-existing folder. So that public HTML should also be removed. And now there's no public HTML. If I go under domains, there's nothing as well. And if I check in the browser, our website is actually broken. Okay, now we need to clone our project. Let's click this code, and I'm going to clone this through SSH. Click right here. Let's clear up everything, and I'm going to clone this in a folder called the exact same name, whatever is your domain. Okay, whatever the folder previously existed, you're going to create the exact same folder, the codeholic.net. Let's hit the enter. Okay, that was cloned, and if we check right now, we see the codeholic.net right here. If we go inside the codeholic.net and type ls-la, we're going to see all the files and folders which are in our project. Now, what we need to do is to create a symbolic link of public HTML, which references to this public folder. All right, so I'm going to go back to directory. So I'm going to go basically in my home folder where I previously had public HTML, and I'm going to create reference ln-s. I'm going to create domains, the codeholic.net public. That is the folder on which I want to create a symbolic link called public HTML. Okay, let's hit the enter. Now, if I type ls-la, I see public HTML, which references to this public folder. That public folder, which is under the codeholic.net, is a public folder of a Laravel project, right? Now, let's go inside domains, the codeholic.net, and we're going to run composer install. However, whenever we type composer -- version, we see that this one shows, where is it? Version 1.10, and it also prints a lot of warnings. That's because composer version is kind of outdated, it's deprecated, and for Laravel especially, we should be using composer version 2. We can't simply use composer version 1. So in the Google, I'm going to type composer version 2. Let's click download composer latest right here. Then we're going to copy the following 4 lines and paste them right here. So it's going to basically execute those lines one after another. Let's hit enter finally. And now in our folder, we will see composer far. That composer far basically is the latest version for composer. Now, whenever we want to run any composer command, instead of typing composer like this, we're going to type composer, php composer.far. So that references to composer. And if I type version, we see version 2.5.5. So now we can execute php composer far install. And let's wait. So it's going to download all the dependencies our project needs and then install them locally. Okay, that was done. Now let's generate key, php artisan key generate --ansi. Let's, I think I made some kind of mistake. php artisan key generate --ansi. Okay. So yeah, we don't have env, it needs to put this in env. So we basically need to first create .env file. So let's run copy command, and I want to copy env example into .env. Okay, after that we can already execute php artisan key generate, and the key set successfully, which is awesome. Now let's create storage link, php artisan storage : link. Let's hit the enter, storage link connected. And I think we are good. We obviously need to connect to the database, but before we do that, let's check how our domain looks like. Okay, so we have this problem again, and this happens because we also need to have public HTML folder in our domain name. Like in the codeholic.net, at the moment, we don't have public HTML. Right? So let's just create ln-s public folder needs to be linked into public HTML. Let's hit the enter. Okay, now if we check, we see public HTML, which is a symbolic link into public folder. And now if we check this, here we go. So this is a Laravel error, and that comes because we don't have connection to the database, we don't have proper connection, and we don't have anything related to database done yet. So let's go in our hosting provider into Hostinger, and let's type database right here. Let's click, this is the database. We can click phpMyAdmin, or probably we should click management, and we should create new database. Let's call this Laravel 10_blog. We have to provide username as well, and pay attention that this is going to be the prefix for your database name as well as for username. So that's the Laravel 10 blog. As for the password, let's generate some password, this one, and I'm going to copy that, and let's click create. Awesome. Now let's go into SSH terminal, and we are going to edit .en file. Okay, let's scroll down below, and here's our connection. Because we are developing through Sail, connection is actually MySQL. We are going to change this into local host. Excuse me, connection is the driver, so that should be MySQL, but the second MySQL, which is dbhost, that needs to be changed into localhost. Port stays the same. The database, well, basically we created database. This is going to be our database, but because I have password already copied, first I'm going to delete the password and paste the password here. Okay, then let's get the username. We should have it right here. That's the user, and I'm going to paste here, and that is database. Let's copy that and paste, oops, right here. Awesome. Awesome. Let's move up and let's change app URL as well, and that will be the codeholic.net. Let's specify HTTPS as well, because we have now SSL certificate. We can change the app name, and let's call this Laravel blog, but we need to put this in double quotations because we used space inside the app name. Awesome. We can switch this env into production, but let's make everything working. So save, and we're going to execute now PHP artisan migrate. Let's hit the enter. Okay, so the connection to the database was successfully done and migrations have been applied. Now if we check in the browser, we should see, okay, what do we see? Post title is not in group by. All right, so that error basically happens due to MySQL configuration. Our MySQL configuration, which was running inside the Sail, was slightly different from the MySQL configuration which is on Hostinger environment. So we need to take care of this. If we just read the error, so that happens because we are selecting post title and we don't have that mentioned in the group by. Again, we can change MySQL configuration in our Hostinger. I'm not sure if that's possible, by the way, but if that's possible, one option is to change that. Second option is to slightly modify our query and add, this is our select right here, and add group by post title and maybe a few other fields as well. Okay. I can add post title on my local environment into PHP Storm, but there might be other fields also which might be necessary to be added in the group by. That's why I'm gonna do this directly on the server. Okay, I'm gonna edit this and do it right here. We are selecting the following fields, like everything basically from posts. So if we go into phpMyAdmin and click this enter phpMyAdmin, we will be connected into our deployed projects database. Here we can click on posts and see what fields we have right here. Now let's go in our terminal, SSH terminal, and I'm going to edit into app controllers. We need uppercase C, control, excuse me, up HTTP controllers, and the error coming from is post controller. So let's open post controller. Okay, we used Vim, so I'm gonna hit I, and let's actually do this because I'm doing this right now on the through the SSH client simply because I don't know if it might throw an error on another field. That's why I prefer to do this right here, but I actually cannot read. What is that? The color is so blue, I cannot read that. Okay, can I change the background color? Yeah, let's make it gray. Or like blackish, something like this. Okay. Yeah, that's I think better. So at least we can read everything. Maybe we can make it more dark. Yeah, I think gray was better. So let's go in colors. I'm going to change this into gray. All right. So here's my cursor. Here's my cursor. So let's have a look. This is the place. I don't see the cursor, so I should probably do this in PHP Store. So here I have opened my project, and let's open post controller. Scroll down below, and the error basically coming from popular posts. Again, we can check this in the browser. Yeah, the popular post. This is the problem. So right here we are selecting everything from posts, but we are only using group by posts ID. So I think we need to specify right here all the fields which is part of the post table, all the posts columns. So let's click on structure, and I'm gonna let me have to open the database posts. Here we have all the columns, and I'm gonna copy simply all of them like this. Here we go. I'm going to paste all of them, then use multi-cursor features and type posts dot whatever is the field, and then we have comma. Now we have ID twice. I'm going to remove once. So now I'm grouping based on the all fields because those are all fields which are used right here. Fingers crossed, it should not be complaining. It should not complain anymore. So let's commit this fix group by issue. Let's commit everything. Now let's push that. And now let's open PowerShell. Let's quit from here. Don't save anything and quit from here. And we are inside the project, right? So I'm going to run git pull to get the latest changes. And here we see post controller was updated. Now, if I check in my browser, reload the page, we don't see this error, but we see the same error on recommended posts. So let's open again post controller. Let's grab those, maybe the entire group by. Scroll down below, and here we have that we're selecting everything from posts, but grouping only posts ID. The entire group by can be replaced with this one, format code. Do we have something similar? Group by categories ID. Select categories. I think it will complain right here as well. Yeah, it will complain, but I want to see that. Okay, fix group by issue for, we fixed that for recommended posts. Here we go. So let's commit, push, open PowerShell, run git pull. That was updated. Reload in the browser, and we see, yeah, I was right. We see now on categories. So on categories, let's scroll down below. How many fields do we have inside categories? Let's grab all those fields. There are not that many. And here, paste all of them. Categories dot column name. Here we go. Fix group by issue for categories. It should the comment message should be more descriptive, to be honest. So I'm just trying to hurry up a little bit and not to waste your time. But the ideal comment message should be fix group by issue for in selecting categories for homepage, like this. And the same type of comment message you should use for the other two things, like right here and right here. Now I'm going to comment this. I'm going to push that. Open PowerShell, run git pull. That was updated. Reload in the browser. Okay, we have another error, the same type of error coming from app layout. App layout. Okay, now it's getting awkward. Let's fix that, but now I'm thinking if it is possible to change MySQL configuration options. If we click on management, I think we don't have that possibility. So that's an option which is called full group by option. And that is activated as it looks like. So now let's go in app layout. App layout. And what do? We select categories, title, but group by only ID. We select title, slug, and others, but we group by ID. If we have a look in the error, we need to include title and slug. So I'm going to get these two columns and paste them right here. Now let's give it a comment message. Fix group by issue by selecting in app layout. Let's do like this. Comment and push. Now let's again run git pull. That was updated. Do we have another error? We do have something. Okay, let's have a look. Because we don't have data, there's an error. That error is coming from app modules. So in the constructor of post item right here, it expects to pass post, but null is actually given. And from where does this happen? Let's check. How is it possible that post item is triggered? Post item is rendered, but there is actually no post to it. That's interesting. So where does this error is coming from? Let's check. That's coming from home blade. Here we go. Obviously, latest post does not exist. All right, let's open home.play. Generally, from my experience, when you build your application, everything works fine, everything is smooth, and you're happy with that. As soon as you tell your friend, hey, I finished working on the application, can you clone that and have a look? And when the friend clones that and runs on an empty data, then problems really happen. So it's recommended always to test your application before you deploy it on production or tell it to your friend. Test your application on empty data on a fresh new installation. That happened a lot to me in the past, and it happened right now as well. So we're going to check simply if the latest post exists. We are going to render that component. All right. Again, now let's give it a comment message. Add security check if latest post exists before rendering. Okay. Now we push that. We pulled that. And what's the next error? The next error is something which I really expected. So this is the only error I actually expected so far. So that happens because we don't have that manifest, we don't have assets, actual assets. If we are doing this on a development environment, we can run npm run dev, but if we are doing this on production, we need to run npm run build. So this can be done in two ways. First is to run that on the server right here, and we can run npm run build, but that's not going to work because npm command is not available on Hostinger's shared hosting. If you don't believe me, you can hit right here and you will see that. Now we are going to do this in a slightly different way. So we are going to run npm run build. Well, actually we need to first go inside the container, vendor bean sail up. Let's open a new terminal, vendor bean sail bash. We are in the container, and now let's run npm run build. Okay, that will create the following files: build manifest.json, build assets app.css, and build assets app.js. But those files are actually ignored. We don't see these in uncommitted changes. If we check git ignore, we are going to see that public build, so everything from the public build is ignored. And that's actually good practice because they are generated files, and when you deploy that somewhere, you should run npm run build right there. But because our environment doesn't support npm at the moment, so we can remove that, and that's also fine. I have been using this approach for many years previously. The only thing that might happen because you are committing build files is that if you are working with team, you might have conflicts when you build something and your colleague will build something. There will be conflict in app.js, in app.css. But to fix those errors are very easy. You just need to take either your version or your colleague's version and then run npm run build once again, because it's going to be finally generated from your source files. All right, so now in the uncommitted changes we see those files, so we're going to commit that, add build folder. Let's commit this, let's push this, let's pull it on our server, and let's check in the browser. What is the next error? Okay, we don't have next error anymore, which is awesome. If we check right now database, and if we check specifically users, I think we don't have any users. So let's try to create one. I'm going to check what code I have inside database seeder. Here we create the user and we assign role to that. That's perfect. Now let's open sh terminal and execute php artisan db:seed. Let's hit the enter. Seeding database, perfect, that was finished. If we reload the users table, we see there is admin user. Now I can access to admin. Let's check. We probably have some errors in admin as well. What's the password? Admin123 is the password. Remember me, click sign in. Let's check it. Okay, so dashboard is good. Let's click on categories. That's good. Let's click on posts. That's good. Text widgets. So it looks like everything is working. So I'm going to create now test category, JavaScript. Let's click on create. Let's create test post. Let's make it active to display it on the website. Body, okay, let's give it some test. Create, that was created, and let's actually assign it a category of JavaScript, and I'm going to also test what's going to be the if image upload successfully works. So I'm going to choose one image right here. It's uploading, upload completed. click Save Changes. That was saved. If I click on Posts, I see thumbnail right here, and that's awesome. I click, open a new tab, and we see this new post. Okay, so it looks like everything's working. We have this in popular posts. We have this here as well. We have this tag category here. We have the number of minutes and one word. We click, it opens the inner page, and here we have another problem inside there. That comes from sidebar view blade, component sidebar. Let's check now. Sidebar. This is the select. We are selecting categories, title, and slug, but we are only group buying using ID. So let's use title and slug as well. Now I'm going to choose commit message, fix group by issue in sidebar. Click commit. Now let's push that. Reload. We haven't pulled actually. Git pull. And now reload. Okay, here we go. The sidebar, however, is not on the right side, which is kind of strange. If we check this on localhost, okay, recently I had a Docker problem, so I locally deleted everything in my local installation. That's why I don't have post table. Okay, I ran migrations locally and created the exact same post locally, and we have the same problem locally as well. So we probably messed up something. If we click, we're going to open view.blade.php, and we are going to have a look. This is the article. We have the sidebar. So the layout doesn't have display flex. Okay, let's search for what is up.blade.php. Yeah, I think we removed display flex from this container, and that's why we have this problem. No big deal. I think we need to wrap this in a div and give this div flex. If I save this, we need to obviously have run npm run dev at the moment, and then we're going to run npm run build. Reload the page, and here we go. So we see all categories on the right side. Clicking on JavaScript will filter that properly. Okay, awesome. And if we create text widget, obviously it's going to appear right here. Now let's run npm run build because we need latest version of CSS. We made some changes here. It might be updated or it might not even be updated. Here we see that it is actually updated, up CSS. So we are going to fix and commit now all of them. Here we go. Okay. Fix sidebar CSS issue. We commit that. We push that. We pull that on the server. And we open the production environment, reload that, and we see sidebar on the right side. If we just search for something like test, it doesn't find, yeah, it finds right there. If we find test2, it doesn't find there. So search actually also works perfectly. About Us page is at the moment empty. Okay, one last thing which I'm going to mention is login and registration, especially registration and password reset. So we don't have proper SMTP credentials. So if we open .env file and if we scroll down below, here we see that the mailer is an SMTP and the host is Mailpit. So that was good for local development, but on production, this is not going to work. So you have to use some kind of production ready SMTP for that, such as Gmail or maybe Office 365, maybe Mailgun. You can use Mailgun as well, and few others. There are a few others as well, but the main idea is that you need some kind of real SMTP to validate, to send emails from your domain. Like in my case, it's going to be probably no reply at thecodeholic.com. There are many providers. You just need to figure out which one you want. One of them is Gmail, second is AWS, SES, and there are tons of others. All right, so the Hostinger actually also gives you possibility to create email. So if we click on emails right here from our domain, like I already have many emails. If we check the domain we just took, where is that? thecodeholic.net. We haven't set up any kind of email. We can click manage right here and take a domain, but be aware that it is not intended for massive email sending. If you don't expect to have like high load on your website and a lot of registrations, I think you can use that. It's good, no problem. If you're going to have like a lot of registrations, this is not intended for that. And also don't use it for sending emails to non-existing addresses, because that's gonna probably suspend your email account, which is gonna be not really good. All right, so we deployed our project on production environment with custom domain, SSL certificate, MySQL, and everything works perfectly. All right, my friends, this is for this video, and I appreciate your time and thanks for watching. If you like the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you are not yet, because I plan much more content on Laravel and PHP. If you like this video, maybe you want to check another video in which I talk about 10 PHP projects which you should definitely build as a PHP developer, and that can definitely improve your PHP skills. You can find this video right here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next time.